We at Reform stand united with the whole of this House in support of Ukraine and all brave Ukrainians against the monstrous tyranny of that most evil, evil villain, Putin. And just over 13 months ago, Madam Deputy Speaker, I donated to acquire a 4x4 pickup truck and to fill it with first aid, medical supplies, and drive it with other volunteers to Ukraine and to give it to those brave soldiers on the front line. And I remember meeting the extraordinary technicians making the drones, including brilliant, bright children, helping to develop new drone technology. And tragically, sadly, I stood in a cemetery and watched the mums weep over the graves of their sons. And that cemetery now has almost doubled in size in just 12 months. So we all know that that maxim of peace through strength has always stood the test of time in history, today, and in the future. And that's why at the election, in our contract, we had 2.5% GDP on defense spending within 3 years and 3% within 6 years. And that's why we support the Prime Minister in his statements earlier this week in making those same commitments. And I hope that that 3% will be a firm commitment within some 5 or 6 years, because peace through strength is vital. And of course, as others have said, we all want peace, not least the brave Ukrainians. They want peace. And it must be right to try for a peace deal, however difficult. Most wars and conflicts do end up in some form of negotiation, however difficult, however tough, however tense. I will give way to the Honourable Lady.
I just wondered if he agreed with the leader of his party, the Honourable Member for Clacton, who is probably not in Clacton right now, when he said in 2014 that Vladimir Putin was the global leader that he most admired.
Yeah. Honourable Lady, for the statement. The issue is that Putin is a vile dictator. We all know that, and my own leader has also confirmed that it is Putin that is the aggressor in this war. And I was just then moving on in the time allotted to the issue of how we get to a durable peace. Because I'm most grateful to the Honourable Gentleman.
I'm very grateful. I respect his personal position on this, but can he explain why the leader of his party thought that the priority for President Zelensky should be to set a timetable for elections, when Winston Churchill, facing a dictator, didn't hold them because we were under martial law? Does he agree?
Well, the point about elections is a good one, because any peace deal can only work if it has the support and involvement of all Ukrainians. And of course, in the Second World War, we had elections in the summer of 1945 before the Second World War had ended. So that was completely appropriate then. And at some point, the Ukrainians will need to be involved in supporting a peace deal if we get there. But a peace deal is only durable. It only works if it endures. And that means you have to have the security guarantees to ensure that the aggressor will never, ever, ever attack again. And those security guarantees is what we must focus on and all be involved in, and ensure that it is a strong, robust deterrence. And if we get those security guarantees right, then hopefully Putin and Russia will never, ever try this monstrous activity and invasion ever again.